Good morning, everyone. Here is the walipini, kind of like an in-ground greenhouse. You can see the walls are built up pretty high. Let's see how it did for the first night of 22 degrees. I know that's not as bad as some of you, because you've had this cold snap for a while, but this is our first night that it got down this low. Ooh, it's definitely nice and warm in here. So we move all the plants into this greenhouse 2 days ago. Seems like everything is doing pretty well. I did have a thermostat in here from last year, but I think the battery needs to be recharged because it's not reading anything. But it feels pretty nice and warm in here, at least above 50 degrees. Everything seems to be doing pretty well. We just have things in a big pot and kind of create openings so that I can come in and water. Lemon trees is doing pretty good still. Has all these flowering. The only question will be, how will the pollinators get in here to pollinate the fruits? But that's okay. It can drop. I just need it to stay warm enough that we can put them out into the garden in a couple of months. So here's this papaya. Ooh, the smell of the lemon flower is so fragrant. There's one papaya I know. Oh, there. There's a couple flowers on the papaya over here. These are self-pollinating ones, so I don't really have to pollinate them, but I do have 2 of them. You can see that one has a little papaya plant. Hang on one second while I move this plant over here. I have one fruit tree that's kind of oddly in the way. Okay, so here's a fruit that's trying to form, and this one's also trying to form. So it's kind of nice to see things, but I'm not sure if it'll actually keep or if it will drop. My main concern has been the lychee. I really want fruit this year, and you can see on these ones they've set flowers, and I'm hoping that they will bud and produce for us this year. So I've got to come in here and water. Look at that coleus. Isn't that still beautiful? Now, this is a coconut tree that I underplanted with coleus, and this was out front. The color is truly amazing, and you can see I cut it back several times, and it's still beautiful. So you can see it's pretty humid in here. You can see all the moisture on the ceiling. Now this is just the plastic, like these plastic sheets that we put on, and then we put a 6, sorry, it's super bright. This is a 6mm plastic, and it's really, you can see here, it holds in the moisture in here. So we purchased a fan that we're going to put in here to circulate some air, because last year it actually got pretty moldy in here because of no air circulation. Ooh, it's getting hot in here, sorry. It's like 35 degrees out this morning, so I'm dressed in sweat coming into this greenhouse that's like, it feels like it's warm. And in the house, it's set to 70, and it's warmer inside here than it is inside our house. So there is a guava flower, and this is Ruby Supreme guava. It's been producing all summer long, and it still has some fruit. Now it did drop some fruit earlier because it didn't get enough water, but I'm hoping that it will continue to grow and give us some. This is the pineapple that is monstrous, and it's beautiful. I mean, it's just a unique structure in the garden. Now, they are very spiky. If you run into them, they hurt. And then they have these like razor needle at the very tip of them that if you like touch it backward, you can feel all the prickly needles. So you need to be careful around them. And yeah, I think it's pretty good in here. Again, this year, it's going to be a lot warmer than last year. So we definitely need to get a fan in here. Last year we used a 0.3 millimeter plastic. That's more of that painter plastic that you would put on, and we double layered it. So together it's like 0.6. This year we're using a 6 millimeter, so it's like 100 times thicker than the other one, and I could feel that heat coming through this plastic. So everything in here should love this warm weather. I'm not too concerned about that. The only concern, like I said, is just the air movement in here. So my husband bought me a fan on Amazon. We're going to put it in here, and it's solar generated, so it'll kick on in the daytime and it'll just move the air around here for everybody. So this is the greenhouse we have set up for everybody. Hopefully they will do well. I do want to check on my dwarf papaya. There it is. So this is a dwarf papaya. It won't get very big, this one here. I bought it from Logi's greenhouse. I'm really excited to see how this one is going to do. And then, of course, sorry, I'm spinning you around. Those are just the regular size papaya that can get pretty large. I want to keep it kind of on the small side, so we'll see how it goes. And then I have a whole bunch of the Ruby Supreme guava in. These are all seedlings, so hopefully next year I can up-pot them into these bigger container. But I think if I do that, I'm not going to have room in this greenhouse, because this greenhouse is pretty full and packed, just like it was last year. Let me see if I can zoom out just a little bit more. So really, there's no room in here to pack in anything else and still have room to move around and water everything for the next 2 to 3 months before spring comes around again. Now, we can always extend the greenhouse out even further, but that's going to cost extra money, which fund is limited, so this is what we could do right now for well, that's within budget. So we'll see how it goes. I will keep you all updated. Wow, look at all these flowers. Let me normal zoom in. I wonder if I could smell all these guys. Look at all the flowers on these. This is the Meyer lemon. Look at all those blooms. And they smell. If you guys never experienced the smell, it kind of reminds me of a smell of a jasmine flower when it's in bloom. It's very fragrant, but it's not overbearing. It's such a beautiful smell. So that is definitely a lot of blooms on this Meyer's lemon. Now, what I haven't been able to get any production, this is, I believe, supposed to be a navel orange, and so far it hasn't produced anything for me. No flowers, anything, so I'm not sure. We'll see how that goes. Might have to cut it back. You can see here, this is more of the Meyer lemon. But I cannot believe how abundant the Meyer lemon is. It's very prolific in the flowers. Alright, so that's just a quick tour of the greenhouse. This is what we're having to do in order to have tropical fruits in a zone that is cold. I garden in zone 8A, so it does get down into freezing. So last night it was 22, and I think we're staying between 22 versus 32 for the next 5 days, and then it'll jump back up again. I hope you guys' garden is doing well. I hope everything is tucked in nicely. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Goodbye, everyone.